Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a birthday card for you guys featuring some watercoloring as well as some of our celebration products. So the stamp set that I used is our Happy Birthday to You. This is one of the celebration stamp sets that you can earn for free with a qualifying order. And starting on February 3rd or 4th, I better double check that. I'll put that on the screen, the correct date. There are going to be some coordination products that will be available to use with our celebration items. So one of those amazing products are the birthday dies. So this gives you a die that will cut the cake out. That's how I got it cut here for our card so beautifully. You have a cake stand, you have some floral pieces and some greenery. It's an awesome set of dies. So this will be available as well. We are using our Stitch So Sweetly dies for this cute little scalloped rectangle. I used the subtle embossing folder for our base. And I'm also using our rectangle stitch dies for the inside. So I'm always so thrilled with celebration. There's so many great products, and who doesn't love earning free stuff with a qualifying order, right? You place orders all year long, but this is the best time to place those orders so you can choose some extra goodies for yourself. So I do hope that you guys pick up this set and now pick up those new dies. I was so thrilled. This was one of my favorites. I just love this cake, and it's one piece, which makes it super easy. So I do hope that you pick up those dies for your set as well. So let's talk about our colors. My card base is Rococo Rose. I'm using Seaside Spray. I have some of our in-color faceted gems. And then I've done some watercoloring. So for the watercoloring, I've used a bunch of colors here. Rococo Rose, Crushed Curried, Rich Raspberry, Old Olive, Seaside Spray, and a touch of Smoky Slate. And just for video's sake, I've started to watercolor in advance, just so that you don't have to watch me color. You'll get the idea. So what I have done, hopefully you can tell, is that I've heat embossed the actual cake on watercolor paper. So that means that I have taken the cake stamp, I've inked that in my Versamark, I've stamped that on our watercolor paper, I've used my heat tool and embossed it, so there is a raised edge here, and I've used clear or white embossing powder. I used white actually. And so there is a raised edge, and that will help with your coloring to keep your ink, you know, within the lines. So hopefully, you know, you've understood that. That's pretty, you've seen me heat emboss, you know, quite a bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our products here. So here is my piece of Rococo Rose. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We are going to emboss that with the subtle embossing folder. So let me grab my die cut machine, and you can use whatever die cut machine you have. Your sandwich just might be a little bit different. So I have our subtle folder, and I'm just going to line this up in our folder here, and I'm just kind of taking a look about how straight I am. And I just want to check. I'm going to try to not, yeah, it keeps moving for me now that I'm talking and it's on camera. I'm trying to keep it off of that score line. Alright, let's get a plate and let's roll that through. Perfect. Okay, so let me switch my platform. We are going to use our die cutting machine again a few times. I get my magnetic platform this time, and I have a piece of Seaside Spray. I'm going to grab our scalloped Stitched So Sweetly dies. We're going to run that through. And let me actually tell you, I think, I'm afraid I might give you the wrong, yeah, it is the largest die in there, in that set. There you go. So let's set that aside. Now we have a piece of Whisper White, and we have our rectangle, stitched rectangle dies, and this one is the second largest of those dies, just so we can keep it all straight here. We're going to run that through. I'm just going to back that up. Okay. There we go. Alright, and then we are going to do our cake as well, but first we have to finish coloring it. So let me set that aside for a moment. And we can begin to assemble. Let me grab my bone folder, hold that straight, give that a nice burnish. Let me get my multi-purpose glue. Okay. And let's set that down here in the center. That looks pretty good. Add a little press. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to do some stamping here. Let's take our Whisper White stitched rectangle. We're going to do our Happy Birthday in the Seaside Spray and the To You, both out of the Happy Birthday to You stamp set in the Rococo Rose. So I'm going to do the Happy Birthday in the Seaside. Let's see if I can get this straight. Looks good. Let's open up the Rococo Rose. Let me see my To You. That looks good. I'm going to stamp that right there. Okay, let's close these up for a moment. Actually, I think I'm on the Rococo Rose with my watercoloring, so let me pull that in. So I am using our Aqua painters, and these come in the annual catalog. You have a large tip and a small tip. I'm using the smaller tip. Oh, I just did that backwards. There we go. And I am not, you can see I have water in my barrel here, but I am not squeezing it. So I'm doing this very lightly. You can put out a lot of water by squeezing it, and I am choosing not to do that just because I don't want it too saturated. So I've squeezed my ink pad. So with our ink pads, if you just, let me set that down, give them a nice squeeze, you will get some ink in your cover, and then you can just bring in your aqua painter, and we are just going to kind of build color. And you can choose to stay within that raised edge that we talked about from the embossing, or if you want to go a little faster, you can go over it and then just take, you know, a paper towel or a Kleenex or something and, you know, give it a wipe to take the color off of your white embossing. And I'm just really going, you know, there's no particular way. I'm just going back and forth very lightly here. I'm not a professional artist at all, but all the Stampin' Up! Coloring tools make you feel like one. So you can see I've chosen to go a little bit darker in the centers, and then I'm just trying to keep it a little bit lighter here around the edge. So let me pick this up. It is a little bit hard to see because you're on the watercolor and I did it in the white. And once you give it time to dry, you know, you can go back in and add some more layers of color like I am now. So if you're not happy with it, you can, you know, continue to touch it up. Color over here. Okay, and then I just keep a paper towel with me, and you just wipe that back and forth until it comes clear. So hopefully you can see I've done the cake stand in the smoky slate. I've done the cake in the Seaside Spray. I've done the old olive on the leaves. Here's the little rich razzleberry on the little round berries, the crushed curry in the center, and then the Rococo Rose for the flowers. Alright, so let's grab our Big Shot once again, or your die cutting machine. And let's get our cake cut here. Let me just find where I put my die. Yeah, I put it back in there. Okay. Let's just see, I think that looks pretty spot on without getting my head in the camera. And I just need my other cutting plate. And let's roll that through. And you can find the watercolor paper and the embossing stuff in the annual catalog as well. I just love that it's one piece and it's just a beautiful size for cards. Really, really love this. Okay, let's take our multi-purpose glue and let's put our inside layer down. Just like that. Okay. And then for our front, we're going to add some dimensionals. Let me grab those. I put probably about 5 here on the cake. That looks 5 on the top and then 1 on the stand. Okay. And what I love with watercoloring is no two projects are alike. Even though I'm using the same colors, they are slightly different. So let me grab my in color faceted dots. We're going to use 3 of the Rococo ones. We're going to do that, and then we're going to grab 1 more, put it down there. And then for my envelope, since I thought the cake image, so let me pull back in our stamp set. You know, I never like to leave a naked envelope, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to put on my envelope. And I thought the cake was a little bit too big. So I was looking for a flower that I thought was close to the flowers here on this cake. So I went to the Forever Blossoms stamp set, and I chose to use this one right here. And I'm going to ink that up in the Rococo Rose, and we are going to stamp that a few times on our envelope, just to kind of tie it in a bit. If you wanted to use the cake, you definitely could. I just felt like I wanted something a little bit smaller for mine. So that completes our card. Again, here is the inside as well as the front, and then our little envelope. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's project. I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun doing this with you guys. I hope you do pick up these products in my online store and try out the watercoloring and the embossing yourself. Don't forget, we are in celebration, so with a qualifying order, you can pick up these products for free in your cart. So if you do have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment or let me know, and I look forward to being back with you real soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.